unless I'm having like some real issues or I forgot my medicine or something.
Mine's been real sensitive lately. We think I got a bit of food poisoning like 2, 3 weeks ago, and ever since then, my stomach's just not been very strong.
Where'd you get food poisoning from?
Qdoba, I think.
Oh, yeah, burrito places, man. Remember that was Chipotle had the big
Yeah.
nationwide one a couple years ago. Because I remember they were like giving out like coupons trying to get people
Yeah,
to
they
come
had like
back.
salmonella or something, didn't they?
Salmonella, I think, yeah.
Oh, hardcore.
Let's see. Where are we live?
Snars. So let's find him. There he is. I'm going to add Snars.
Yeah, anybody you see, go ahead. I'm trying to get us this link out. John Schnars. John, check it out.
That's ridiculous.
I discovered this on trivia last week. I was like, oh my god, wait a second.
The lights in here are so ridiculous. I don't know what to do about it.
My lighting situation here's a lot better, actually.
Yeah, no, you're looking fresh. My mic's really far away, sorry. Oh, man. My computer's acting like a little fucked up right now, but...
Hey, Snars, if I send you an Amazon link, can BGH buy me a new webcam?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sure, bro.
My old one died.
What are you using now?
This crappy one that came with my WGU school kit.
Yeah.
I have to use this one for tests.
Oh, really? It's like a...
Yeah.
It's like a not security, you know.
Yeah, it's some kind of secure
cheating.
ID on it. So yeah, I don't understand why it has to be that model. I don't think it looks like a Walmart special.
Well, maybe who knows? They could have done some off the shelf mods or something, but
John, did you see the one of you carrying me?
it's outrageous. I commented that it's too far. It's actually too much.
Too far. We're live, by the way, on the internet.
Hello, internet.
Is that a web app or is it an app on your phone?
I think it's a phone app, right, Casey? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It just, I don't know how Joe and Kathy were doing like the music videos. Because all I can figure out how to do is search GIFs and scan those and stick myself in.
Maybe it's
all right.
You know, pro features.
Yeah, it could be.
I think I'm ready. I think.
I'm gonna try to like tape something over my screen to like stop this lens flare. It's so bad.
I'm trying to decide if I should pee again. The answer is probably yes if I have to ask that question.
John Schnars brought to you by J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I'm getting a little. There we go, Casey. A little Super 8.
Yeah, a little bit of lens flare.
Okay. There we go.
I think I bought this webcam at a Big Lots or something, or an Ocean State Job Lots. It was like when we first started doing the live show back in the day.
I mean, it's got to be pretty ancient.
It's old. Yeah, it's old. It's not great either, but it's fine for now.
I mean, it's pretty clear looking, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's pretty clean. It's not Casey level.
I'm now getting. I think I was telling you the other night, John. I'm getting 850 megabits down and 600 upload.
It's really fast.
Which should be good for the live stream. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to. We were only live streaming at 720. I'd love to bump it to 1080, but a lot of that is about the.
No one needs to see us in 1080.
But a lot of it is about. Yeah. I think I have a feeling that more of our hitches have to do with my processor than they do with the internet. So I'm not sure that would be a great idea.
Yeah, 1080 and my potato camera is probably not meant to be together.
Yeah, I mean, we're all pretty potatoey, I feel like. I mean, I look the best because it's recording with the local, you know what I mean? Like my camera's not going over a feed.
Do we want to talk quickly about next week? So we have this screener that Andy got.
Yes, I would like to see an actual horror movie, is what I would say.
We need to do.
It's like 12-hour
Casey,
shift. I
is
think.
that a lightsaber?
No, that's just my jewel. Yes, we could do that screener too, but we have to. I think we need to do Hubie Halloween by Halloween.
No, fuck you. I'm not watching an Adam Sandler movie. You guys
Oh,
can suck
come
my
on,
dick.
let's
I
get
want to
it.
watch
No,
it.
you guys
actually,
can
too.
fucking
It looks
blow me.
fun.
Well, so all right. So here's the real
Joe
quandary,
show.
and like we could also
Maybe in November. There's no fucking way I'm doing it for Halloween.
Well, yeah, we can kick it to November. No, here's the quandary, and I think this could be like a good patron vote or something. But basically, The Craft and The Witches are both coming out the week before Halloween.
If
But
I
they're
have to
coming
pick,
out
I'm picking The Witches. But Joe hates
mean-
Joe hates Anne Hathaway. So
I mean, I'm definitely going Witches too, but that's why I say like, why not let the fans vote? And
yeah, that's
You
not
know.
bad. We could let slackers vote or patrons or something. I'm down with
we'll
that.
kick it to Patreon, and
It's not a bad idea.
So we have 12-hour shift next week.
Both of those feel spooky enough.
We need something then for the week before Halloween.
Hubie,
I mean, I'm down for it, but
it's on theme.
Eric hates fun, so
I
that's,
know.
Oh, I fucking hate Adam Sandler. Modern Adam
I
Sandler
watched,
movies. That's what I hate.
there was like a mini conversation about the Addams Family, which I watched with my kids. Pretty fun, actually. I had a good time with Addams Family.
Oh,
What
the new
is
one,
it?
animated?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
the
new.
animated
I
one.
gotcha.
Yeah, I liked it too.
It's I mean, it's pretty dumb, but
I wonder if that's. I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna go. Oh, I'm gonna go turn the light off. I'm wondering where I get this flare from.
Oscar Isaac is pretty great Gomez though.
well, I was like shocked at the quality of voices they got. Like it's real A-list, you know.
Although I don't think Charlize is a good Morticia.
It was fine. I mean,
it was passable.
Well, I didn't think any of them were like incredible,
Yeah,
but
I like Oscar Isaac, but I'm a bit of a fanboy too. So
yeah, I dig Oscar Isaac. So, yeah, no, it was funnier than I was expecting. I didn't really watch the show, and I've definitely seen the other movies, the like old ones, the Addams Family and Addams Family Values, but not. I mean, I saw them in the theater, I think.
oh yeah, we've watched those a bunch. Those are pretty regular around our house with the kids. But yeah, the Addams Family is fun. We actually went to the theater for that one, I think. That was before pandemic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was last year. It was like last.
Oh yeah.
I think.
Did you ever watch Scoob with the kids?
Yeah, we watched it. Yeah, I
love
liked
it.
it. It was probably. I feel like it was like there was like too much going on for me.
There
Like,
was a
I-
lot going on, but I mean, it was a blast, and it was a good nostalgia blast, and they did well by it.
Well, were the other characters regulars? That's like what I wasn't from, like the Birdman and like.
They are Hanna-Barbera characters.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Yeah.
that was what I
They
thought.
weren't Scooby-Doo characters, but they were from the whole Hanna-Barbera universe.
Okay.
No, I guess I do want that other one.
Yeah.
Especially because, but yeah, we had a big nostalgia hit for that too. Because like when Delaney was little, growing up, she watched Boomerang all the time, so she was always watching Catch That Pigeon and the Wacky Races and stuff, which is what Mugsley and Dick Dastardly were from.
Yeah. Well, those guys I recognize, and like I wasn't sure if they were like Scooby Doo villains or just because I knew them from
Yeah.
like Wacky Races, but
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. There was a lot. There was a lot.
Okay, we're waiting on Joe and Cece. Yeah.
Yeah, Cece said
Yep.
she's running late.
All right,
So-
live stream's going. I got my email. I peed. I got my water.
Oh man,
Sick, bro.
I'm fucking beat.
Same.
work's kicking my ass this week.
Yeah.
I just went to the
Uh,
biggest fucking Walmart I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, there was a horizon looking to the other end of the store. Like, that's how fucking long it was.
There's a Target around.
I was
here
like, how the
that-
fuck am I supposed to find anything in this place? I can't find anything in a normal store.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the suburbs.
Oh my god. I mean, I lived in the burbs before, but this was like next fucking level. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's good times. Cool. Good
Yeah,
times. Yeah. This is
It's the most exciting thing happening here.
fired up. Fired up right now.
I charged my
Um,
Switch. I've not touched it, but I haven't played a game in like 3 months.
Oh,
I've
dude.
been playing that Hades game that came out. It's a new roguelike that was by the people that did Bastion and
Yeah, it looks
Some other one.
good. I
Oh,
looked
it's
at the
freaking
trailer
great.
on it.
I love it.
They did that game Transistor, right?
Yes, that was the one I
I
couldn't
was
remember.
not smart enough for that game, but it was pretty.
Yeah, me either. But yeah, it looked great. Played nice.
Yeah, I don't know if I've played any of their other games actually. I think I
Bastion
downloaded
I played.
Transistor.
It's very
Or no,
similar.
I
It's like
downloaded-
very heavy
I
on the art,
downloaded Bastion.
very heavy on the art style. Not Hades, Transistor, and it's like a future noir thing, and you're like a
It's like a female main character.
you're like a
right?
singer who lost her
Yeah.
had her voice taken from her or something, and you're trying to get it back.
But you have to move in like chess directions.
But
or
it's
something
kind of like
similar.
yeah, it's like turn-based puzzle game or like combat game. I don't know. It's fucking.
Yeah.
I was way too stupid to play it, but I played it
Because
for
like
like
when it was her turn, she'd have a specific path she could travel. And you had to try and line it up to hit an opponent or something like that.
Mm.
I remember.
And then like once you would get into combat, it was like a grid basically, and you knew what each enemy was gonna do, and you have to try to like certain number of tiles you can move. It's a whole thing. I don't know. I played until I got out of the tutorial, and then I was like, nope, too dumb for this. Moving on.
You're like, oh, now the game's hard.
Yeah.
They've stopped
Mhm.
like providing me with like specific direction.
Nah, son.
Yeah.
Listen, John, I spent my fucking childhood playing shit like Karate Kid on the Nintendo. I do not play games because I want them to be hard. Life is fucking hard.
Karate Kid was pretty tough. I don't know what you're talking
Karate
about.
Kid. So famously, Karate Kid was only 3 levels, and the designers at the
Yeah.
end wanted to make it harder, or they didn't want people to be done with it really fast, so they just made it 10 times harder.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like those roguelike games. Because it's designed so you die a lot, so that's
Joe-
makes it forgivable for being crappy at it.
Joe,
but-
did you send me a photo of yourself?
No, it should be the video.
Nope. You sent me a photo of yourself from Google?
That's weird.
No, no. If you play it,
It's a video. No, okay. Can you just? I don't want that. Well, literally, I want the link to the Cameo page just emailed to me, because I got to get it onto my iPad and I'm gonna play it from the browser.
I don't know if we can access that one. I will see.
If not, I might be able to. I might be able to play this on my. I can
You
check.
can't
Actually.
access
Why
your
not-
own cameos.
Can you email it to me though, instead of what
The
you did?
link? You need the link emailed to you.
It's. I got to get it on my iPad. It's a whole fucking thing, Joe.
I
This
know
is
you're into the
complicated.
VCRs, Eric, but is it currently blinking like 12
Fuck
on
you,
there?
Oh, I gotta sign in. Oh, I don't know how to sign in. Shit.
Mhm.
Fuck you, Joe. Oh wait.
Mm.
It's 5 minutes long. I don't know how much of this we need to listen to.
Well, no, I want to just be able to play like a little bit of it.
Mhm.
Oh my god, really? Stand by.
Siri, play horse porn.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, the problem with their whatever, he's gone. I don't care. The problem with Cameo is you can't send like a link just to the video because only the person you send that to gets it. I don't. He should be able to use Google. Hey, Eric,
What's
I
that?
can't send you a link to like the specific video.
Doesn't it? I thought they like lived on our page.
Yeah, it does, but there's no way to like actually copy just a specific video or just get a link for an actual video.
All right, I'm about to be in my email, and then so if you can send me whatever that link, Google link was, I can see if I can play it.
All right.
I got you, Joe. Don't worry.
Thanks for firing up the old Control C, Control V.
Control C, Control V. That real hard.
Mm.
Yeah. Joe, they didn't have the Nitro Pumpkin. I was pretty bummed.
No,
Oh.
I mean, I can't find a lot of like pumpkin beers. Like, it doesn't seem like there's a ton out this year.
I feel like
find
everyone's.
pumpkin anywhere.
So I have the regular pumpkin. They have a ton of, and they have. There was probably like 3 other pumpkins, but I've been noticing a lot more fall seasonals.
Yeah,
But
I
like
wonder
not
if, like-
Oktoberfest. Like they're like fall spices and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder one of two things. One, if just like breweries are burnt out on doing it and like sales haven't been that great the last few years,
Yeah.
or two, like are they running so bare bones that they're not doing like special releases right
Yeah.
now?
I was talking.
Okay.
I actually called a couple of liquor stores
Sta-
around us to find that Nitro Pumpkin, and I heard somebody say something about a distribution problem too.
Stand by. Oh my god! Don't allow. Just fucking play it.
This
It's the first time I've done this on the app, Joe. Okay, it's making me go through shit.
I don't even care if this happens.
Well, I do now. I'm not gonna
Like
let this
that,
thing beat me.
He's committed now.
Renegade,
What
that
the-
brewery we had at
Yeah.
they have like shut down almost completely their canning and distribution. They're
Yeah.
just
Wow.
in like brewery now. Yeah, a lot of breweries I think have gone to that.
Yeah, and I meant you got to think that the distributors have taken some hits too, probably.
Yeah.
But people are drinking so much more. Like that's all you read about is like I thought like total alcohol consumption is up like 40%.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Michelle,
Can you
or
guys hear this?
Mick, as the
Yes.
the people call you around the office, the old archaeologist office that you're
You
not at right now, I assume.
How do I pause
'cause,
this?
you're off in the field
You
doing
can't.
archaeology.
Yeah.
Sick,
Just
dude.
he's on loop now.
Okay, I think I can just leave that open and get back to it really easily. Are you?
Oh,
I
yeah,
assume
that's
then.
gonna go great when you have to do that.
I assume then you guys can hear this. Yeah, but by the time I have to play that, there's no bumpers left to play, so it doesn't matter if I can make it back or not. Is Cece joining us tonight? I'm not being sarcastic. I'm asking.
She said she was running late, but did not give an inclination as far as what that meant.
What the duration of lateness was.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm gonna start yawning now, and then we'll see how it goes from there.
God. Today was a real fucking shit show around the office, John.
By that, do you mean like at your house?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Dude, my
Oh.
kids, like, I don't know what happened. They all were like, I'm talking next level temper tantrums. From the 6-year-old was fine, but the 4 and the 2-year-old were like, it was almost unbelievable. Like, I had to basically walk away because I just don't deal well with those situations. I'm just like,
Is that
not-
the key, John? Is that what I was missing? Interesting.
Oh my god.
Hmm.
Well, like my wife knows, like, it's just not gonna end well.
Hmm.
So.
What the
There was a bunch of trees down in our hometown, Joe. My parents' neighbor had a tree go through their house today.
Oh Jesus.
Damn.
Some
Wow.
monsoon
Like
like
a
weather.
hurricane or something, or a tornado?
My dear mother thinks that a tornado went through, but she's also prone to being dramatic, so it's hard to tell.
There's not a lot of news upstate.
No, I'd say like that's.
So,
I guarantee you, they were live with that shit on the news for fucking hours.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I remember when
I've
the
worked
Wendy's
there.
opened up in Glenville. My parents were all over that shit. Like,
I mean, legit. I remember the week that Walmart opened, right? So this would have been
I mean, that was big news.
2002, maybe. We got the first Walmart. That was when they were really starting to expand up into the Northeast and stuff. And we had a house party because my parents were out of town, and my friend legit like called some chick he was hooking up with to come and pick him up because he wanted to go see Walmart at like 2 a.m. because it was open 24 hours a day. I'm telling you, man. Joe's right. Not much happens there. People get excited.
My mom used to tell the story. She was telling us last time we were home that I was the very first customer in the Plymouth, Indiana McDonald's.
Oh, that's nice.
And we got a special set of plastic, like, decorated Ronald McDonald plates.
Nice, dude. I
Wow.
bet those are worth money.
Mm,
Yeah, that's
Probably.
amazing.
I bet they
She
are.
still has them. I'm sure they're in a box in the basement somewhere.
My parents still talk like Schenectady is like South Central LA. I'm like, they're terrified of. I'm like, Mom, I live like 20 minutes from fucking Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. Oh, there was a shooting last week.
That's really funny, dude. I mean, it's not great, but I take your point.
Yeah,
It's
like,
relative.
In comparison, like there was a story here yesterday about how there was only 20 shootings yesterday.
I always tell this story, but like moving to South Florida was super eye-opening for me for a lot of these same reasons. Learned a lot there, Joe, but I remember the first week I was there watching a lot of news and was like fucking blown away by what I was seeing. And there was a story about a little kid who found a gun and shot another little kid. And then they
Jesus.
casually, in the middle of the story, mentioned that he found the gun in the neighborhood quote unquote garbage pile without any fucking context, any explanation.
Yes.
And that
I
shit,
liked it.
it's like that Lewis Black bit. Like, I will never fucking forget that for the rest of my life hearing that. Holy shit. And then, like, a couple days later, I don't know if you guys remember, a couple of dudes robbed, like, I think it was a bank or something, but they were, like, wearing full body armor. This was in Miami. And then they, like, shot a bunch of cops and then got on the highway and started heading up towards where I was
Oh.
living.
I just
So-
assume
remember that.
anytime you rob a bank, you're wearing full body armor. No.
Yeah, but, like, they
I mean,
legit couldn't
or the-
take these dudes down. I was like, this place seems fun. This is cool.
I live here.
This is good.
That's how you learn stuff, you know?
Yeah. Mm.
So, do you want me to text CC, see what the ETA is here? or-
Yeah, let her ask her if she wants us to start without her. I'm just gonna grab water quick because I'm ready to go.
Joe, we decided next week we're going to do that screener that Andy got us,
Yeah.
12-hour, whatever, 12-hour shift. So then we have an open week we got to figure out. And then, so the issue we're going to have is that the craft and the witches come out like basically the same day.
Mhm.
So what we were thinking is a patron vote to decide which one gets covered for week of Halloween.
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah, and we'll just do the week after. Have you
Yeah.
seen? I mean, we can talk about this when Eric gets back. Have you seen the trailer for this Vampires in the Bronx?
No, but interested.
Looks awesome.
Yeah.
Not even a joke. Like, I definitely think we should add it to the.
What's Vampires
looks,
versus the Bronx?
Yeah, maybe. It's something
What?
like that.
It
Oh
looks
my
like
god,
Attack
it's
the Block.
on. Wait, it's on Netflix right now.
Yeah, it
Well,
looks.
we just do this next week or 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
All right, this is great.
Here, I'll
I
send
feel
you
like
guys
we haven't
the trailer.
seen. I'm good with that. I feel like we haven't seen a good like scary movie, like actual spooky movie in a while.
So this is on Netflix right now, and we
Yeah.
have an opening in
Yeah, I don't
2
care.
weeks.
I'm just saying. I miss spooky movies.
So-
This movie
yeah,
bummed
no,
me
I
out.
agree. Eric. There's not. I'm sure we're.
It
missing
says
something.
horror comedy, so like
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, there's vampires and they kill people.
it's a SNL guy.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's the same guy
uh,
in this movie.
I almost kind of feel like the lack
Oh,
of.
you're right.
I almost kind of feel like the lack of theatrical movies is kind of killing some of that stuff because it usually comes out theatrically. Maybe it's being held, and it's just we're just getting all quirky fucking indie horror movies.
Basically, other than Slack, I have no fucking idea what movies are coming out when.
I mean, Regal just
Because
announced they
of-
were like shutting shit down, so who the fuck knows?
well, but it's like there are trailers that we saw last year that are now not. The movies aren't coming out till 2021, like Candyman, for example. And then there's trailers that come out where I see, and someone's like, "Oh yeah, it came out like 3 weeks ago. It's on Netflix." I'm like,
Right.
"What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
how am I
oh,
supposed to
oh.
stay on top of this?"
Do you make that face every time?
Uh,
Oh,
I do.
Um,
Yeah.
Joe, did you get an answer?
No, but I just sent it like a minute ago.
God damn it!
And I made it no hurry.
Did you guys see
'cause
that
I-
John Boyega is trying to do? They're trying to make a Attack the Block 2. That was a while ago.
Oh, really?
No.
No. Oh, Blackwater, keep on running. Mississippi River, won't you keep on running? Oh, Blackwater, keep on running.
I don't know. What
Yeah,
that
this
song
is it's a Hollywood video or not Hollywood. What's it called?
Hollywood video.
Broadway video. Lorne Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize. Yeah, it's
I
like
didn't-
a
It
whole
looks
deal.
really good.
I'm unfamiliar with that as a thing.
That's like Lorne Michaels' company. It's like what all his.
Okay, I believe you.
All right. I mean, I didn't know if you were like busting my balls or not, but
That reminds me, I still need to watch that Pete Davidson movie,
Which one?
King of Staten Island.
Oh, I've got that from the library in the other room.
He's funny.
I
I like that dude.
I heard mixed things. That's why I haven't like rushed out to watch it. But
I
Yeah.
am not a huge fan of his.
Oh, I am.
I get the shtick, but I-
In the right atmosphere. Like,
I like him when they write a skit that's well suited for him.
no, Cece's here. She said.
sick, bro. Let's do it.
you got it. You want me to
Got it,
Yeah.
dude.
get it?
Fucking calm yourself, John.
I don't see the convo, or I join. Oh, there she is.
CC.
Hey, I think it's the G chat from like last week or 2 weeks ago.
No, I mean, not that. I mean, even normally on Skype, if I log in and y'all are already in a call,
Yeah.
it'll just let me add myself.
Hmm.
But also, I don't know what Apple is doing, but for y'all who don't have Apples, when I try to text message you, it like won't go through. Like
I
have
had
to
that
send a
this
text-
weekend.
Who
I think
doesn't?
That's just Joe.
Is it just
Is
Joe?
Casey, is Casey on a? I thought you were iOS too.
I'm on
No,
a Mac,
this
yeah.
weekend, I think like Saturday or Sunday, whenever we were texting this weekend, I was having the same problem with my Apple.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had some random other weird bugs since they did that big update last week.
Well, yeah, it could be the whole new OS. I guess I don't know.
It's a pain in the ass.
Guys, we're all here. Let's just
Yeah,
embrace
let's fucking do it.
You know,
I'm ready.
let it run. Are you in the nursery, Cece?
No, I'm in the
Oh.
studio.
Oh, it was like kind of over your shoulder. I could see like
Oh,
a.
yeah.
This is where she
Yeah.
creates, John.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
my brother was living with us again for a little while after he broke up with his girlfriend, but he just bought a house, so now I can be back in the studio.
Nice.
What
Yeah.
happened with his girlfriend?
He
Let's go
wanted
over
to get
this.
married and he didn't,
Oh,
so.
I get that. If he
That'll
ever
get
breaks
ya.
up again and wants a creative way to do it, there's a cameo. I think I could
my we
suggest.
suggest
like,
cameo.
what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Who's this pervert? You sent me a video. Of?
Joe,
You
I
tried to
didn't.
Boone's Farm,
Joe, I did not like the way you licked the top of that wine bottle at
Well,
all.
when I pour my wine, it drips, and
Yeah,
I don't
I mean,
like drippy drops on my.
You didn't have to do it
Uh,
so sensually, but still.
No, this honestly, like Leslie and I have been hitting this pretty hard, like for a few months. It's like $5 at Trader Joe's, and it is amazing.
Great. Okay,
Rosé.
I'm ready to go.
All right.
Stand by.
Grana. Okay, what are we waiting for?
I'm waiting for you guys to mute.
Jesus Christ.
Welcome to Bloody Good Horror.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Bloody Good Horror. My name's Eric, and I will be your host for this evening, where we will be reviewing a movie on Shudder. John, I have no idea what the name of it is. What's the name of it?
Scare me.
Ah, yes. That is the impact it had on me. Joining me tonight,
Lord.
first up from Indiana, please welcome Casey.
Hello.
From Hotlanta, Georgia, from her her art studio, please welcome Cece.
Hello.
It's where she does her art, John. Her painting. Next up on the
Presumably.
show from Joe's drinking studio. He is from Chicago. You're actually kind of creepy there in the dark, Joe. Welcome to the show.
Eric, I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me show you how I got this ring.
Gross. No, thank you. You already did show me that by licking that wine bottle before we started here. And last up tonight,
Oh, there's some holes in this house.
please welcome the business manager at bloodygoodhorror.com. Despite his appearance, he does do business. Please welcome John Schnars to the show.
All of the business.
Although
Eric.
really, you're like your casual, long hair, dad
Yeah.
clothes thing. I mean, you are the face of business in 2020, really.
I
just-
mean, look, none of us are leaving the house.
Although I will
What-
say
what do I
tonight,
gotta look-
you've got a real Poochie vibe going on.
Oh,
From The
yeah.
Simpsons.
I'm half Fonzarelli or a third Fonzarelli and Joe Camel, half Joe Camel, third Fonzarelli.
Wow,
Yeah.
John. Deep cut, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
You
nice.
look a little Lincoln lawyerish. Like you're like you're a business guy, but you're also dressed like Bobcat Goldthwait.
Also, like
if
maybe
he, if he made some bad decisions.
maybe a tiny bit like Woody Harrelson in Way Men Can't Jump too.
Yeah.
See, that actually, I would actually sign up for. I aspire to that. I think, but
Interesting. Well, who doesn't? really?
Poochie,
Poochie.
interesting.
So we're good to just stick with Poochie, right?
Yeah. Well, what I'm really aiming at is what the hell's his name? McConaughey, but from True Detective. True Detective McConaughey, like the
Oh.
old version. Of
John,
him, when he's
John,
like,
you're not
no,
angsty
sorry.
enough for that, John. Okay, please.
yo, give me a little bit more pandemic. I think I could get there.
You
It's
can
like,
get there.
No, John.
lose a little weight.
John,
A
listen.
little more
John, I
I'm
was
going for,
John, I
I'm
was
going
born
for
in the
Harry from
darkness.
Harry and the
Okay,
Hendersons.
I was born in the
What's
darkness,
that?
John. You're merely a visitor.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
fair.
John. Here. No,
I'm
no.
gonna be like
offense,
a
John.
slightly more upbeat version.
All right. Time is a
People-
flat circle, you guys. It's okay.
Hey, I got an idea for you.
No worries.
Hey!
That means we all get second chances.
You know what's not completely off topic. You know what's funny, John? Every time I have trouble Google, I still think of you. I'm like, this fucking guy.
Fucking John.
Like I am trapped at like a certain stage where like you still work for Google and like somehow you're gonna be able to help me.
It's been a long time, Joe. It's been a long time.
All right, guys. We're here to talk about Scare Me. Joe, please tell me what we are drinking tonight.
Beer guts.
Scare Me, a movie, and John, I don't want to take your whole plot summary, but a movie about two people in a cabin telling stories to each other, and that pretty much sums it up. In honor of that, I picked a beer from the fine folks at Church Street Brewing Company. They're based out of Itasca, Illinois, John. It's a beautiful, beautiful town if you ever want to visit, maybe do some summering. And the beer I picked from them is their Tale of the Shawnee. Is anyone familiar with what the Shawnee is?
Well,
Yeah.
Sounds-
there were Shawnee
Is that a
Indians,
restaurant?
Native American tribe? No.
No. Yeah.
I remember
no.
Shoney's Pizza.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
No. So I'll just read their description because I think it does it pretty well. In centuries past, to ensure a plentiful crop, the Celts would donate a variety.
It's the Celts.
Nah, I'm gonna go with Celts.
Okay.
It says right here, Michael Jordan was there and Larry Bird.
Kevin McHale.
Anyway, the
Oh, Lordy.
Celts, as Eric apparently puts it, would donate a variety of malts for a community ale to please the Shawnee, a local water spirit.
Oh.
Sadly, the custom dictated that they throw all of it in the ocean. Our traditional 80-shilling Scottish ale is a robust brew with notes of sweet caramel and mellow roast. Best enjoy on land, not in the ocean.
Mm.
So it's a delicious beer, and it's perfect for this time of weather. It's a Scottish ale, if you didn't pick that up from the description. So a ton of malts, a little bit of sweetness from that alcohol. It comes in at about 6.4%. So it's a little up there, but like that caramel really comes through in the heavy amount of malts that they put in the brewing process. So it's great, like fall time, apple picking, sitting outside by the fire at night, telling
nothing is
spooky
great.
tales.
Nothing is great about apple picking, Joe.
Well, yeah, I mean, not to
It
get off
sucks.
topic, 100% agree. Like, why would you pay $30 to go like pick a bushel of apples where you can just go to the grocery store and get that for like $3?
Yeah, it's fucking
Um,
stupid. Unless you're like a kid and you're sneaking onto somebody's orchard and doing it for free.
Yeah.
In which case, go for it.
Like you're paying extra to
So
do somebody
your
else's
problem
work.
with the apple picking
It's
is
too
the
legal.
cost?
Yeah.
No,
Yes!
this is outrageous.
100%. It's
It's fucking
literally like-
exhausting. The kids don't even like it. It's fucking expensive. You're going to buy like a $70 donut, basically, is what you're going to do.
yeah, you're paying to do somebody else's job, John.
I think you guys
Like-
might be disconnected from
You're-
how expensive apples
you're
are. in the
getting
store.
exposed
They're not that cheap.
To
not- they're-
pesticides.
Well, John, also you're coming from New York City, all right? Like we're in the burbs. like-
Maryland now.
Well, anyway, if you're paying more than a
Well,
$1.99
ba-dee-da.
a pound for your apples, John, you're a fucking
Yeah, you can get a
idiot.
good. You can get a decent Washington State Gala for $1.99 a pound. That's affordable, I think.
But anyway, like John, if I showed up to your house and said, "Here's $40, let me do your job for 2 hours," like that would be ridiculous.
It's stupid. Sorry, Joe. I
I
didn't
would
mean to
take
interrupt.
it. though.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
Of
my
course you would. There's like apple pickers sitting on the side looking at all these idiots who drive out like 3 hours to go do this apple picking. And like, you fucks.
They're always
Anyway.
shitty. They're always shitty apples too. They're like small, like shitty
Well, yeah.
apples. Always.
You know why? Because like they've been manhandled by like 300 other people before
Right.
you got there. Like, no, fuck this apple. I don't want it. Let me rub my sack on it and leave it for somebody else.
Yeah. Oh God, Joe. It always feels really good when we're on the same page. I gotta
Right.
say that.
So wait,
so
how
rare.
does this have to do with the beer?
Joe mentioned fucking apple picking in the fall, and I went off on a
This beer
rant.
is great in the fall time. Church Street Brewing, great stuff. They put out a ton of really good stuff. ChurchStreetBrew.com is their website, and I wholeheartedly recommend them. We got off the rails here. I'm done, Eric. If you
Okay.
want to keep this going.
Sorry, I was talking to Mary on Slack. I hope that's okay.
All right, yeah, no, absolutely. Feel free. We'll wait.
And I'm back, guys. It is time. John, what's this movie called again?
God.
And we're back.
Hear me.
Scare Me. Sick. Let's talk about Scare Me.
This is it, Shudder. Your big breaking TV. For the prime time. Main feature.
John, just to give you an idea where my head's at today, first thing this morning, I was in a parking garage. I paid for my ticket, and in the 30 feet from the kiosk to the car, lost the ticket. Had to go back and forth about 4 times before I figured out what I was supposed to be doing. Then I paid.
CC, are you loading one of those rock tumblers that you used to get as a kid?
No, I was a perfect no file. I'm sorry.
No, she's got one of those Snoopy ice machines.
Little snow cone on the side.
Anyway, John, and then I had to pay for a full ticket to get out of the fucking garage.
Oh
So
yeah, that's always a good time.
it's been a day. Anyway,
Mm.
by the way, Joe, I saw one of the Snoopy ice machines in Target the other day, and I'm like, why the fuck? These things were torture. Why would you sell these to children?
Yeah, I think it's probably like a nostalgia thing. Like
No, it totally
You're-
is, but it
you
was
know,
bullshit.
parents would buy it for their kids. Again,
Oh,
like,
I like those Snoopy like ice shavers.
You're
Is that
like
what talking
hand tumbling ice for hours and like breaking your wrist for like a half a shitty snow cone.
yeah, just
I
buy
mean,
a fucking Italian ice.
about? I
from the
don't know
frozen
how
food
hard
section.
you were working on
I
these
mean,
things, but it's
Schnars,
not
I was
a-
not a very strong child. Would that surprise you?
Yeah. All right. They were sharp as hell. Like it would take like
Oh,
a chunk
yeah.
off your finger.
You could
if
fucking lose a
you know,
finger, dude,
fucked
for
with
sure.
it, So yeah.
All right, John. Somebody want to figure out where Cece is, and while you, John, do the word of the day.
Eric, today's word, pantomime. That's Pantomime. Pantomime, as a noun, a dramatic entertainment originating in Roman mime in which performers express meaning through gestures accompanied by music. More colloquial, well, Jesus Christ, I can't even say it. More traditionally, you might hear an absurdly exaggerated piece of behavior. And then as a verb, it can mean to express or represent something by extravagant or exaggerated mime. Comes to us from the Greek pantomimos. Pantomimos. Imitator of all.
Okay.
There you go. Mhm.
Hmm.
Kind of sounds like my stomach medicine I take. Yeah,
I'm all right with
somewhere
it,
in-
John. I'll accept that one.
John,
That's a Casey recommendation. So
Oh.
tell me,
nice. Yeah,
tell me,
big
John,
guy
that
there.
John, tell me you did some research about this movie. I'd like to know more about how this happened.
I read a little bit after the fact.
And now I would
Um,
like names, please.
Yeah, so this film is written and directed by one Josh Rubin, who is also helpfully the main character of the film, or at least the sort of first character we meet, Fred. So Fred, Joe kind of gave the very basic synopsis, but essentially we have Fred. We meet Fred. He's on his way to a cabin to
What a
do some
name!
writing.
You don't meet many Freds these days.
Freds?
Like not a lot of
Yeah, it's
millennial
less common.
Freds.
No, it's faded. in
I know
popularity.
one Freddy,
Um,
and he's on Night of Living podcast, and that's it.
yeah, it's true. I don't know if I know any others. Now that you think
Nice
about it.
guy. He's a nice
Super
He's
nice.
a hell of a
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, hey, listen.
mustache.
you know,
World
everyone else was
class.
like, you know what, we're done with Fred.
World
He's
class
got it
guy
down.
right there.
So, yeah. In any event, Fred is. We meet Fred. He's on the way to a cabin to do some writing. It turns out he's not a great writer, or even really a writer at all. He works in advertising, but he's aspiring to be a writer. He's had some hard times of late, which kind of comes up later in the film. But he wants to be a writer. He goes to this cabin. It's going to be like a hymn weekend type of situation. He goes running and he runs into someone else who's sort of staying in a nearby cabin. Also turns out to be a writer. The difference is she's like a famous writer, has written a very famous horror book that sort of is bestseller and all this. You know, he kind of tries to like hit on her a little bit, and it just does not go well. That evening, though, the power goes out. She shows up at his house and essentially proposes that they play this game. They're both writers, of course, so why not tell each other scary stories? And that's really the film. And literally, it's just the two of them telling stories. At one point, I was kind of like, oh, well, he's going to start telling the story, and then it's going to sort of like cut to anthology sort of reenactment, or kind of tell like the movie of the story that he's telling. 100% no. It is him telling and acting out this story to a certain extent. And we can talk about the ways that works and doesn't work, but that's where the pantomime comes in, of course. You know, the relationship between the two of these characters kind of drives the tension, such as it is in the film. There is a third character who's introduced probably like halfway through the film. It's a pizza delivery man named Carlo. And he shows up and decides to participate in the storytelling, but also in like doing a bunch of drugs that they're doing at the time. And yeah, I mean, it kind of just proceeds apace from there.
I'm sure that was great.
Yes.
All right, guys. We're trying to add Cece back in. We don't know what the deal is. She's restarting, but in the meantime, Joe, what do you think of Scare Me? Hey, remember the name of the movie?
Yeah. So it's interesting. John kind of hit the nail on the head here when he mentioned that at a certain point you think that we're going to jump into almost like an anthology and start to see these stories played out in, you know, like little cutscenes, and you don't. And there is some interesting play here, right? Like they do some like moving shadows, and like the first story is about a werewolf, and they kind of show the werewolf. Like it's done very well, but then this goes on for like an hour and 45-minute movie.
It's actually it's an hour. Well, if you count when the other dude shows up, it's an hour 25 because I made a note.
Damn.
Oh dear
That's
God.
a long fucking time, guys.
So it's interesting, and I'd say it's well done. I think the actors are awesome. Like it's great. Like I keep going back to the fact that after like an hour, I jumped into our Slack group and I'm like, has anybody watched this movie? Like, does something fucking happen? Because it's an interesting idea, but it's an hour and 45 minutes of just people talking. So it really drags to a good amount. Chris Redd, I think is his name, from SNL, shows up at a certain point, about an hour in, or hour and 25, like you said, Eric. And like he kind of saves this thing. And I wish he had shown up earlier, or they had just like cut 20 to 30 minutes out of the beginning, because once he showed up, like I thought it was hilarious. Like I was all in on like his story and like kind of the cutscenes, and like spoiler alert, they do coke, and it's a lot of fun watching them do coke. But then like it kind of wraps up pretty quickly, and it's like once it gets fun, then it kind of ends. So it was like weirdly paced. So at the end of the day, like I was really frustrated with like the first hour 15 or so of this, and like ended up not really enjoying it because of that. But like outside of that, again, like I thought, especially the main character Fanny, I thought she was amazing. So it kind of saves it, but like not enough for me to actually end up enjoying this thing.
Casey.
I'm not super far off from Joe. I enjoyed this as a kind of an experiment, or the idea they put in behind this and what they were doing. It's really well made, like Joe said. It looks great. The actors are fantastic, and they really pull you through this movie. I mean, the whole thing rides on the two main characters, Fred and Fanny. Rides on their shoulders until Chris Redd shows up. and they do a good job of carrying it through there, and they kept me fairly interested. But like just like Joe's saying, after a while, you're just watching these people make faces at each other for a while, and you're waiting for the next thing to happen. And I'd go so far as to say there's not really even a point of scariness in this movie either. It's pretty low on the scares and whatnot. But like watching, I believe the actress's name is Aya Cash that plays Fanny. Watching her chew up scenery was pretty fantastic and worth the investment time alone, just because she was really great.
John.
Yeah, I mean, I went into this, like, literally knowing nothing. So we wanted to do a Shudder film. We are sponsored by Shudder this week, and so we were like interested to check out something. They've had a bunch of new releases. We were looking at doing something else, and I can't remember what it was. I'm actually curious to go back and look. And Joe was at the last minute. Joe was like, "Yeah, what about this one?" Like, and sent the trailer around. And Joe was like excited enough that I was like, "I don't even need to see the trailer. If Joe likes it, like I'm in for this." So I knew nothing. I think if you had just told me that this was a comedy, or
the
that
shed,
it, like,
the shed is what. Sorry,
the shed was the other
the
one.
shed is what we're talking about.
Okay, and like I would still watch the shed too, but if someone had just told me this was a comedy, I think I would have appreciated it a little different. Now that said, like I laughed a bunch. The character you guys haven't mentioned yet is the Uber driver. I can't remember her name's like Bettina, I think, in the film.
It's
Dude, I think she's my favorite character in the movie, honestly.
She's incredible,
But she's not in it that much.
So, it's you guys mentioned like the actors are all really, really good. There's 5 characters in the whole movie. I mean, I can't even remember who the 5th was because it's really the 4 that we've mentioned. But there's 5 people listed on IMDb. I actually think this movie's incredibly well directed, and I say that because like A, you get great performances. B, there's a lot of like interesting stuff that he's trying to do to like spice up what is ostensibly 2 people talking to each other for an hour and 45 minutes.
A long time, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's like he's doing some visual effects with the shadows on the wall. There's a lot of weird angle shots, and look, some of it's just for goofs, but it does keep the movie interesting enough. All that being said, I got pretty bored probably like 45 minutes into this thing until basically, so there's like a real lull, I felt like, from when you're like, wait a second, the whole concept of them telling stories, the problem with that is like the stories that they're telling have to be pretty compelling. And like the first guy who's the joke is he's a terrible writer and terrible storyteller, but he's telling a terrible werewolf story that's just like, what's the fucking point of this story?
Right.
So once you get over that joke, or once that joke kind of wears itself out, I was like, all right, like, let's wrap this up, or like, when is something crazy going to happen? And then it really doesn't ever get crazy. So I don't know.
Cece.
Yeah, so I missed what everyone else besides John said, so sorry about that. But
You got the only important one, don't
It's okay, I haven't gone yet.
I mostly agree with John. I mean, I really enjoyed this. I thought that it was very funny and very entertaining. I thought that it was a clever way to try and handle like essentially a bottle type movie for 2 people just talking to each other. I know that like the scares weren't really scares by any measure, and maybe that should have been like emphasized a little more, but overall,
wait, what were the scares that you were referring to?
Like there weren't any scares, like the times that they were trying to like,
I mean, they try to though a couple times, and I think because of the overall tone, it just, even when they try to get there, it doesn't.
It wasn't clear to me if they were intentionally, like, if that was meant to be sort of a joke,
But at the end, though, I feel like they're trying to get there.
That's true. Yeah.
And it's just like, with what you've seen, it's just like, okay, dude.
I do feel like the ending, maybe like for the movie to be mostly comedy, and then if you were gonna like drive home like your horror in the last like 10-15 minutes, like you might have wanted to have stuck that a little better, but I would watch this movie over again before a lot of other movies we've watched.
Yeah, maybe.
Name names.
I guess it would depend. I think that there are things I appreciate about this, and there are things that I find clever about it, but as a movie watching experience, I found it to be very unpleasant. And like, I think that this idea would be a perfect, and maybe this is how it started, it would be a perfect like indie stage play. Like, I want to pay $10 to see this in some weird, creepy old like theater house, 2 actors and like a little set.
Oh.
Because there, I feel like it's because it's about the performances. I mean, here's my problem with it is like, there is no story. Like, yes, there is, but there's not enough of it because what they do is, I mean, legit.
There's no tension. Is
Legit.
another way of
There's
saying
no
it.
like
There's
plot
There's
tension.
no tension.
Because
Yeah.
the best scene in the movie comes at about an hour and a half in, when you finally get some kind of story or like plot between the two main characters, and it's this conversation where you start to learn more about what's actually going on. It's by far the best scene in the movie because it has actual plot tension. You give a fuck. Like, to John's point, the stories they're telling aren't good. Like, they bend over backwards and I think do a really creative job of trying to find like visual ways to enhance the verbal storytelling. Like, they're using a lot of artistic license for things that are happening in their imagination, like seeing the werewolf claw or like the sound effects. And that stuff's cool, but at the end of the day, it's still gussying up stories that aren't interesting, and they're taking away from any kind of actual movie plot happening. So,
Yeah.
like, literally 45 minutes in, I was like, "What the fuck is this entire movie?" And it's not till an hour 25 when anything more reveals itself to be happening. So to me, I think it's just like, I think it's really misguided as a feature length movie. I think as an hour and 45-minute movie, it's almost a crime. I think that now I'm with you guys. Like, the lead actress is fucking awesome, and like watching her chew scenery is probably the best part. I loved her. I loved the Uber driver lady. The main dude is like, his character is kind of meant to be so off-putting that I didn't love him a lot, but I feel like it's maybe more the writing and just the way the character is being presented.
He's also he's the writer and director of the movie.
And I
So
will
it's like,
agree-
he got that right. if
I will
anything.
agree that when the SNL guy comes in, like
Chris Reed.
yeah, like the pace picks up,
So
but it's
good.
still the same shit. They're still just telling. I don't know, like that part did not grab me at all.
He was. See, I thought he was at least really
Yeah.
funny. Like,
And
I
it-
was,
yeah.
that
I
was the
thought
one
It
you
bums
noticed.
me out because like
hilarious.
the
Like-
actual story between the two leads, in the moments where that's at the forefront, I liked this a lot more, and like I really like. There's a really interesting thread here about there's a lot of threads about kind of like women being in horror spaces and creative spaces and writing, and there's a lot of that kind of tension between these two characters. Like, the guy kind of is, even in the beginning, you kind of can see he's like jealous of her and he feels a little entitled, but she's really sharp and kind of giving it to him in a way that's a lot of fun to watch. That stuff is the best stuff, but again, that's when the movie's actually stopping to pretend like it has a story.
Yeah.
I just
mean,
couldn't truck
there's
with the rest of
definitely,
it. I could barely keep my fucking eyes open watching this movie.
I mean, I think like the last 30 minutes of it really hits home, and like I really thought this was like the most interesting part. Was like it definitely plays off sort of like the frail like male ego, right? Like, and I want to say, and not to spoil like the very ending, but like there's a few parts where like heartbreaking, where like she's apologizing for like pretty much being better than him,
Right.
And like that's
Yeah.
the stuff where like Leslie and I really kind of latched onto it, like, and like I think there's definitely, on paper, this movie is super interesting and like really enjoyable. I just think the beginning drags so much that it kind of lost me. But again, like once they do coke, I was like, "This is." I don't.
I mean,
But I
that's
think it's like-
that shit is deep in though. Like, there's no
It
way
is,
I would have.
it's a
Yeah.
There's
problem.
no way I
It
would have made it
takes,
that
like,
far.
If this movie was just the last like half an hour, or even 40 minutes, like shoved into like an anthology movie, like I would have loved it. I think
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
took a really
Well,
long
it's
time to
funny
get
you
where
say
it
that
was
Well, you
because
know-
to me it feels like the wraparound of an anthology movie that didn't have enough money to shoot the stories.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, that's 100%. They definitely could have made this into an anthology where this is the sort of setting,
Although
and it could have been
anthology
a lot
movies,
more interesting.
Well,
anthology
you know where
movies
else
kinda
I think
suck
it
anyway,
worked
but-
too? Because like if you look at Josh Rubin, his background's pretty deep into college humor and a lot of web stuff and whatnot. And I could see this whole movie played out over like 12 different webisodes.
Well, right, I could see that because it's like
Yeah.
a bunch of sketches put together.
Because it would break it up.
Well, yeah. I mean, there is someone mentioned either over the email, and I think Joe, you brought it up when you were kind of first talking about your thoughts, but it's very like experimental feeling, and
It is. Yeah.
it kind of feels like a sketch comedy, like something that would have come out of an improv comedy sort of setting, you know.
John,
And it's
I don't know if you've seen My Dinner with Andre, but
well, in any event, I mean, so I do think, as Casey mentioned, like Josh Rubin came out of that sort of. I think he was at Second City or something. If you look at some of his credits, you know, he definitely kind of has that background, and it kind of comes through in the writing. Obviously, Chris Redd on SNL. It's I don't know. It's this weird blend because he clearly has this eye for sort of interesting cinematography, or at least trying to make things visually compelling. And he also has, I don't know, an instinct about horror. Like it's playful. It's as boring as it can be at times. Because I agree with Eric. It's still like playing with some of the ideas. Like even the werewolf stuff was so. It was boring, but in like a way that they clearly knew what a boring werewolf movie would have to be like. You know,
this thing in like 10-minute chunks is great, but I think when you put it all together in an hour 45, like it's a bit much.
Yeah. Part of me
I
really
think it
wants to
needs to be
rewatch this
tightened
like
up.
with a gummy or two. Like just.
I mean,
see
I
how
have
that goes.
like I think like if you present it, if it gets presented to me, as like, here's this experimental narrative thing, I think I may be a little more charitable to it than like Shudder throwing it up and being like Shudder exclusive, because you're like, oh cool, but and that's not necessarily fair to the movie. But going in not knowing anything, and that's not that I expected it to be scary, but I expected it to be more of a movie than it actually is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I just didn't know it was a comedy, and if someone had just been like, "Yo,"
Oh.
even if on Shudder it was like, "Hey, our new horror comedy," I probably would have.
I think they kind of show their hand with that, like in the
I thought-
first scene.
yeah, I
Honestly,
thought
Or
they
if you
did.
watch that trailer I sent you of the actual
Well,
movie.
I just
Yeah,
want
I
it to
know,
be.
Joe, but
I just
didn't
want it to
watch the
be
trailer. I was
like
Why would you
better.
do that?
Yeah. Who else? What else do we want to talk about here? I mean,
Well, it's a hard one to talk about with that,
Well,
giving
yeah.
all the details away because there's not a whole lot going on here. But
I don't know.
I did like how, like
Yeah,
Joe
no,
was
go ahead,
saying,
Tim.
I liked how they played around with the shadows and lighting in this. But I also think going with Eric's angle of this being a good stage play, started watching Ratched recently on Netflix, Ryan Murphy joint, and they've got some real old school stage lighting tricks going on in that show that are changing lighting backdrops and stuff as things are happening on the screen. And if they could have combined that with this movie, with some of those lighting tricks to make it even more stage-like, I think it would have given it a really cool kitsch feel to it and made it a little bit spicier.
I mean, I think that like the simple way that this could have been, I think, more compelling would be to just take that actual story between the two of them and maybe flesh it out a little more and have more of that interwoven in between these mini movies, and have the mini movies be shorter, or would the mini stories be shorter.
well, they
to me,
make the
I
movies
kinda like,
too. I would have liked, but
I kind of like the
Or just
interaction
action,
with
like-
them. Like I kind of like the fact that, and again, like I think it
Right,
kind of
but it's
goes
not
back
a
to,
like
this-
there's no momentum to it though. It's not a story. Like they're telling a story and then it's
There-
over and the movie hasn't advanced at all.
Yeah,
I
but I mean, I
agree.
kind I mean, to me, what Joe's trying to say and what I liked about the movie is that like it's more about the like the art of storytelling. So like, yes, there's not a story, but the story, like they are the story that you're following. So like, I get that, like, yes, it's slower and that there's not a lot of like action that's motivating the like character driven interactions, but that, I mean, that didn't bother me. Like when I'm watching it, I didn't say like, I don't know why we're watching this or what's going on.
And also, I think like part of the point is the fact that like Fanny doesn't really know this guy, right? Fred, I think is his name.
Yeah.
But she still feels like she has to kind of coddle him and like at the end like apologize for her being a much better writer than him, which I think is kind of the point. So I feel like honestly, if like their relationship had got deeper, the end wouldn't. And I really enjoyed the ending. Like I don't think the end would have kind of hit as hard with me.
Okay, you guys are right. There's no way to fix this. I give up.
Yeah, like honestly, and I don't want to spoil it, but
You
like,
guys win.
at the end when she apologized to him, like when everything like jumps off and like shit goes down, and she's like, "I'm sorry." Like Leslie and I both looked at each other, and like I was fucking gutted, like, because this guy sucks. Like,
Yeah.
he's a giant man baby, and like still at the end she's like, I'm sorry. Like, she feels like she has to apologize for the fact that like and spoiler alert, I guess, like he tries to kill her, and like she still feels like she has to apologize. And I think all of that hits home more if they don't really have like a close-knit relationship, and it's just kind of this surface level, like, we're trying to pass the hours because we're both in the same situation.
Sure, dude.
Wow,
Or not.
deep conversation. I really love how open we are to each other's dialogue.
I did enjoy the like coda.
Oh
The,
yeah, no, that was amazing.
The little twist at the end. I mean, we don't need to.
I
spoil it, but
kind of
that-
had hoped that like the girl, because she gets away, like she leaves, right? Like I kind of had hoped she was gonna show
Yeah.
up and they would have a little moment, because like that was from her book, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
I
all
mean,
the story
pretty
was from
much.
her book.
Well, Fanny was taking notes about everything that had gone on in
Right.
the house over the night, and then the Uber driver shows up and pretty much takes those notes and makes a book out of it and becomes famous.
Yeah.
What was the Uber driver's book she was writing? Oh, it was about
The
uh,
title was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. Well, it was from the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Also,
good.
You know what
That
movie? You know
pizza
what made me
looked
kind of laugh
delicious.
the hardest the whole movie was when she's strolling. And it's so stupid. Was she's strolling through the house the next morning, like surveying the damage, and she just randomly picks up the piece of pizza and starts eating it.
she doesn't pick up a piece of pizza. She picks up a piece of pizza that already had a bite out of it,
Oh,
which I have just like I almost threw up on the bed like while I was watching this, because that is fucking disgusting.
That
I mean-
Uber driver's gonna walk up to your door, knock on the door, walk in the house, and check and see where you are. I've never seen an Uber driver, if I wasn't there in 5 minutes, they're like, yeah, F you, I'm
Well,
out.
I got the impression, I don't know like where this was filmed, but like the idea was like they're in the middle of nowhere, and this
Yeah.
was probably like Bettina's like first like fair in about a
Oh,
month.
yeah,
So
only fair.
Right, she
for
was
the day.
bored.
she was pretty jazzed up.
She
Can
was
I
super
ask-
funny.
so I wasn't familiar with this Aya Cash, the woman who plays
Oh
The-
man,
the
she's
character?
great.
Yeah.
She's
Well,
in,
yeah, that's what I was
the
gonna
worst.
say. Like,
Like you're the worst. You want to talk about like an amazing but kind of gut wrenching show? Like
I've heard that's good.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good,
Yeah.
and she's in The Boys right now too on Amazon.
The
she's
boy.
like the bad guy
Oh,
in that. Is like she's
In
like
The
kind of a-
Boys,
yeah.
Wait, who is
Um,
she in The Boys?
Stormfront.
Stormfront.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't really know. Well, I haven't watched the last 2 episodes, but yeah, you don't really know at first that she's kind of a villain.
Oh. Well, let's.
I mean, her name's
let's,
Stormfront. Like that's kind of like that's a pretty
let's-
loaded
Mhm.
term these days.
Yeah, but, like-
it's an amazing Billy Joel album, John.
Well, Billy Joel plays a giant part in The Boys, so you should definitely watch it.
I started it and then I fell off after like 4 or 5 episodes because I just couldn't get into it. But I feel like I need to go back into it, especially
funny.
if Billy Joel plays a large part. Because
Well, at
I
least
think
in
I'll
season
watch
2.
it just for Aya Cash. I mean, that's
yeah,
Yeah.
she's really
she
good.
She
is-
was
yeah, she was great in this. Like she was like hands down the highlight, but like far and away, I thought she was amazing.
But to sound cheesy, at points she was downright captivating. Because when she'd start going on a ramble and they had her head on when close up in the camera, it was just like you couldn't look away.
Yeah.
I cannot go back to this Coke scene enough. Like I don't understand why you guys aren't singing its praises. Like
I mean, I just like the scene, the Coke, like the after Coke scene where there's like kind of a musical number, and I'm not
Yeah.
normally like a huge
Yes.
fan of those, but that was hilarious.
I did
It was-
actually. Yeah, I did like the musical number.
yeah, it was really well done. I don't know. Chris Red, I'm not a huge fan of him on SNL because I don't know. I just don't think they've found a way to use him. But
Yeah.
like he was hilarious in this.
Yeah.
Like especially and again when they do Coke and he's telling his story and his face just keeps like popping up from the side and stuff. I was like, I don't think I've laughed that hard at like a horror comedy since like Shaun of the Dead or something. Like I was like buckled over laughing.
He's also plays a
bold.
giant stoner in that Disjointed show with Kathy Bates that was on Netflix about the weed dispensary, and he is pretty hilarious on that too. He's definitely underused on SNL.
Yeah, I agree.
All right,
Anything
guys.
else we want to say about Chris Red?
He's apparently in Joker.
Oh,
Is he?
Oh.
that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is
Well,
that?
he's in
and-
Vampires
Yeah.
versus the Bronx, which I
So
think
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
do-
I say that's
soon.
We're gonna
interesting.
do
What is
that
what is
probably 2
Joker? Are they
weeks.
making another Joker movie?
No, the one that came out. That
Yeah, the one
was
that just came out. He's in that movie, The Joker.
Oh,
Or
with
Joker.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin.
Forgot about that movie. Never saw it.
Do you think that he ever did a karaoke where he sang Joaquin in Memphis? Joaquin with my feet turned.
Or
Doubtful.
Joaquin on Sunshine.
When
Oh my
I'm Joaquin in Memphis.
I think he takes himself a little too seriously for that.
Yeah, I guess. I wish he would though.
Okay,
Yep.
guys. Scare me? Question mark. Would you recommend this, Joe?
I would love to, but no, I don't think I can.
Cece,
Yes.
Good.
Okay.
I like it. Good.
Casey,
I would say yes.
John.
I think I'm gonna go yes too. Actually, you guys have convinced me.
All right, I'm gonna say no, and leave it at
Yeah.
that. All right, guys.
I would say jump to the hour 20 mark and then 100% yes. Like,
Enjoy a 25-minute film.
yeah.
I'm not
Like it-
necessarily saying you're gonna like it, but I'm saying it's worth watching.
I
once.
would.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would enjoy a 25-minute film, John. You're right. Thank you. All right, guys. It is time. Let's take a quick break and do some fan mail.
At St. Bernard Academy, 4 outsiders are about to make all their wishes come true. With a vengeance.
Magic. We can make things happen.
You're a witch!
Surprise.
The Craft.
Girls, watch out for those weirdos.
We are the weirdos, mister.
Rated R at theaters Friday.
Hi, I'm Denise Crosby from Pet Cemetery and Mortuary and The Walking Dead, and you are listening to Bloody Good Horror.
Send feedback to info@bloodygoodhorror.com or on Twitter using hashtag AskBGH. Join Patreon to get back episodes and much more. Patreon.com/bloodygoodhorror.
And we're back. The following is an excerpt from a cameo recorded by Joe, paid for by a human being with a job. As a gift,
Presumably, we assume we
Yeah.
don't know.
as a gift for another human being, presumably also with a job. Let us listen.
Hey, Michelle, or Mick, as the people call you around the office, the old archaeologist office that you're not at right now, I assume, because you're off in the field doing archaeology thing. So your question, and first of all, thank you for sending this in, because I feel like a lot of people just know me as Joe, the guy who knows a lot about Disney World and terrible metal bands and a smattering of horror movies, but maybe a little beer.
You look sexually
But I
aroused in
also
this, Joe.
actually have done a fair amount of research on archaeology.
So do you guys.
Maybe like 8 hours worth of like video research, give or take, depending on how long these documentaries I've watched are. So
Are you watching Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom in the background of this?
Well, that's the joke.
Oh, I got it. Right.
Mick said in this question, just saying like, hey, I think it would be fun to hear you talk about what you think an archaeologist does. So, I'll be honest, I've watched a lot of cameos from other quote-unquote celebrities, and people don't put nearly as much effort into it as I do, Eric. I'll be honest.
Oh, I'm more. Here, let's dip back in.
Not a typical day, because I don't think there is a typical day for an archaeologist, but at least like what a day could look like. And what I assume is, let's just call this, It's a random Tuesday. You wake up, you know, and you wake up late because you've been up all night doing archaeology things. So you wake up like mid-afternoon, get dressed, get, you know, gussied up because you have like an important meeting at a restaurant, perhaps with some clientele, you know, to exchange some archaeology things. One thing leads to another. You're poisoned. You know, it happens. I assume a lot. I imagine you yourself, I don't know how long you've been doing this, but like poisoning is probably like at least a monthly thing. Like it happens once or twice a month. So you're kind of used to it. You're trying to get the diamonds or jewels or, you know, whatever. Somebody else has it. They've poisoned you. All right, there's an antidote, but
I would like to point out we are at minute 2 of 5 minutes and 44 seconds.
Things happen. You find yourself in
We're not listening to all this,
town with a young boy driving a car, trying to get the antidote in the car, do your whole thing, escape these guys. It's very high energy. Turns out none of this has anything to do with the rest of your day, which is spent.
Did your cuckoo clock just go off?
At a traveling to a foreign land, a crazy foreign, distant place that most of us have never heard of. Because you've been summoned by.
Okay, clearly there's no point here. All right, Joe.
This could be on Scare Me.
Also, got to say that our buddy Dave then paid. So there's a lot of things happening this week on Slack. One of which was you Christmas nut jobs starting to go off about Christmas on like October 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So we started a Christmas all year Slack channel for you guys in your sex fetish. So then Dave paid you to send me a cameo just talking about Christmas. So I got my own cameo this week from Joe.
I think he was reading a Christmas story. No?
You know, John, confession time. I didn't watch the whole thing. I was pretty sure I got the point by like minute 3.
Don't tell Dave.
I mean, $5 well spent. I mean, I don't know if you've ever listened to Tupac, but much like him, when I'm doing my cameos, I close my eyes, go blind, and let the Lord do his thing, Eric. And the request. So we should say we're on cameo.com/bghorror. You can send these in. They're only $5. You get a request if you want to break up with your loved one, you want to propose, like you whatever you want to do, wish someone a happy birthday, or just talk. I'm here for you.
Every time you say this, break up with someone goes higher up on the list of things that you want to pitch to people.
I want this to happen so bad. So anyway, you send in the request. You put as much detail as you can for what you want me to talk about, but honestly, like, just things usually go sideways. But the point of this, and I think the reason why we're bringing it up, is because we decided for the entire month of October, and like so far, I am like amazed at how much we've actually raised, because again, these things are only $5. But we're donating our proceeds to the League of Women Voters, which is an amazing organization that has been around for a long time, but I just discovered a few months ago when they held an event at my local library, John. And they're actually an organization that
Wait,
that
you
was set
discovered
up,
the League of Women Voters a couple months ago?
Yeah. Anyway,
wow. That's impressive. On some level, I guess.
They're this great organization. They're out there helping people register to vote, help kind of, eliminate some of the suppression of voters out there, John. Help people be able to get to vote as it is. They're bipartisan, I believe, but, they're helping people to vote. So let's be honest which way they lean. But anyway, they're an amazing organization. If you want to just donate to them directly, no offense here, but if you want to do it in a fun way, send in a cameo. You can also tip. So I know if we've had a bunch of people asking, hey, I want to actually give more than just $5. You can tip after I do the cameo, and add however much you want. So that's a way that you can help. But again, like, I think we've gotten like 15, 20 in October so far, and it's only the 7th. So it's been really amazing, the turnout, and I appreciate everyone who's done it. But yeah, I hope more people do. And I'm having a blast doing these, and I hope so far the feedback has been positive, I believe.
You haven't been fired from your job, which is actually surprising to me right now. So, given the amount of time that's going into these cameos,
it's because again, like, and I don't want to pat myself on the back, but like, I've looked at some of the other ones that like celebrities do, and like they'll do it for like 15, 20 seconds. Like I'm busting these out like 5 minutes plus. So you're getting your money's worth here. So,
I like how you think
don't wanna
just
say
the
if you
duration is
don't-
money's worth.
Well, I mean, I don't want to say if you don't get one, like potentially you're a terrible person, but you kind of are at this point. Like you're
You're laying
You're
it
not-
out there. It's fair.
yeah. I mean, you draw your own conclusions.
I will
don't
say,
know
Joe, the
where-
League of Women Voters, wonderful organization. You now no longer get to make fun of me for thinking Spree was a 90s candy when you just learned what that is.
No, we can definitely we'll still
100%.
5K, Joe? Is that happening? Is that a thing?
It is, yeah. Actually, next weekend. A little concerned about the turnout. I'm gonna be honest, because we're in a pandemic. People aren't really out there doing things, but whatever. Whoever shows up, shows up. Next weekend, the weekend of October 16th, go out. We're doing a 5K or a 10K. Use the hashtag RunBGH when you're out there doing your fun and posting your pictures and whatever. Pretty much the same as we've done in previous years. Run your race, send a screenshot of whatever app you're using to track your distance to bloodygoodhorror@gmail.com. And, if you're in the U.S. here, we'll send you a medal probably. Or if you're outside, we'll, find something cool to get you the back episode or maybe a cameo. God knows. God knows what we're going to do, but it's going to be great.
There's a prize. Here's a free Joe speaking into his phone.
Yeah.
For 5 minutes.
For 5+ minutes, Eric.
I would love for someone to do the breakup one, but have all of us do it. I think that would be kind of amazing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, if you guys, I don't. So the deal is we've gotten
It's
a
not
few people
her,
requesting
it's
like,
you
hey,
is the
I'd
thing.
like. Well, no, we've gotten a few people saying like, hey, I'd like Eric did this, blah blah blah. Like, it's very much tied to my phone. Like, you can't even do these like on your computer. Like, the Cameo does
Lame.
not have the best setup, but like, I'm happy to Skype you in, Eric, and have I don't know, we can figure this shit out.
Love it.
Is what I'm saying.
And then I can read Office fan fiction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. You're muted, CC.
It didn't matter. I have nothing good to say.
Wow.
It wasn't gonna be nice.
No, I was literally just asking if you couldn't upload video. Like, does it not have where you can upload videos? You have to like record in live.
No, it's
That's all.
literally like Instagram Live. So
Lame.
we're limited, but nothing against you four, but I think people are getting what they want, right? Let's be honest.
Great disagree.
I mean, like some of these videos, I am prouder than I am of like producing children. Like they're like some of my finest work. Like,
Wonderful.
for your Christmas one, like I found my ugly sweater.
Oh no, I
put on
saw.
a hat, like I
Uh-huh.
fired up some Christmas music, put on the Yule log. Like again, not to besmirch fucking anybody else on there, but I might be the greatest thing that's ever happened to Cameo.
No eggnog if you're a real Christmas fan.
Yeah.
Maybe eggnog.
It's tough to find all the Christmas accoutrements in early October, Casey.
All right, guys. info@bloodygoodhorror.com
No, I'm not done, Eric.
is the email address. First up from Andy, checking in from bloodygoodhorror.com. Luke has reviews of The Stylist and 12-Hour Shift. And Jason is continuing to do his Lovecraft Country recaps. That is a difficult sentence to read, John. Shout outs from Alyssa, she of the book club. She says, hello, it is spooky season. The patrons of Slack have chosen A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. That Tremblay just sounds like the fakest ass last name to me in the world. I don't know why. Tremblay. I'm already enjoying my reread. Can't wait to find out what we'll read for November. We're on Goodreads at Bloody Good Horror, or you can go to Twitter at BGH Book Club. I'm working on making a reader challenge contest for December, so keep an eye out on Twitter. Oof, that sounds like homework. More from Andy. We're also covering the Salem Horror Fest. The virtual film festival continues through this weekend with the film screenings and anniversary reunions for The Howling, the It TV miniseries, and Ginger Snaps. Friend of the show, Valeska has a lecture in the festival that folks can check out. It's called Bad Bitches, Sex and Power from the State to the Sanitarium.
And she just got asked by the Satanic Temple to feature that on their webpage for the
How
month of
wonderful.
October.
Holy shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have not had a chance to watch it yet, but I've heard, like, I've seen some of the reviews, and it is amazing. So I definitely want to check it out.
I mean,
She's the best.
Once you're in with Satan, that's what else do you need?
Yeah.
You got it made. Go to salemhorror.com for more information. This weekend, we'll also be covering Nightstream, a virtual genre festival and fundraiser for a number of genre-based film festivals that we're not able to run this year. Go to nightstream.org for more information. Man, I'm like living in a sleepy little town now, John, that literally it looks like the town that like fucking Needful Things was in or some shit. It's just like this little sleepy Stephen King New England town. And I walk down, I live just off like the main street here, and I was walking my lunch break yesterday. There is the coolest fucking old one-room theater, like movie theater. It's closed right now. They're renovating it and just waiting for the shit to go away. But it looks fucking amazing. I can't wait.
I don't know if you've seen the news, Eric, but it has gone away. And it's not really that big a deal.
Nice. Okay, thanks, Joe. Thanks for the heads up. Did you see that on Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Awesome.
On Twitter. I was told by a
your aunt,
high-standing official whose name I cannot remember currently that it's actually nothing to fear and everything's cool.
Right. Well, shit, I'm gonna go tomorrow. We got an email from Justin. Great shirt idea. Quote, I'm a slut for slow-mo, unquote. That, of course. John, you know who said that, John?
I do. I try to forget every day, but...
Justin says, give that shirt a nice graphic, and I'd totally buy it. So would I, Justin. So would I. info@bloodygoodhorror.com is the email address. What do we got on Twitter?
We got a lot. And we got a lot of Insta tweets, too. So let's strap in, kids. First up, our buddy Robel. A Sandler Halloween movie and a remake of The Witches with Anne Hathaway. Joe and Eric, are you going to make sure it happens?
Yeah, John and I were discussing we were gonna let people vote. We have an open week coming up. We're gonna let people vote between The Craft or The Witches for one of these pre-Halloween weeks, I think.
Eric has already nixed the Adam Sandler film.
I will not. I will watch that in November. I will not fucking ruin Halloween with an Adam Sandler.
I'm into it.
You made us watch Medea.
Yeah.
I would fucking watch Medea every day for the rest of my life than watch this Adam Sandler Halloween movie.
No, that is
fuck that shit.
Bullshit.
You're not going to walk this back when this movie's good. That's going to be the problem, Eric.
Yeah.
John, I am okay with my inconsistencies. I have no problem. I have no problem assimilating those things.
What do we know what it's rated? Hubie Halloween? It's PG-13. All right. Yeah. I can't watch that with
Sounds
my 6-year-old. That's
I don't know. The trailer honestly looks like it's mildly funny. Like
it does.
If it's one thing I love, it's mildly funny things.
Eric. Dear God. Just whatever. Lord Sharkington, chocolate lovers or peanut butter lovers Reese's at checkout. Can only get one. Which do you get?
Peanut butter.
Yeah, I didn't realize either one of these are a thing.
I mean, if you want chocolate, why are you eating a Reese's? That's not. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I don't know who gets a Reese's for the chocolate though. Like that's not a thing.
It's
the
shitty.
Chocolate's not bad.
It's shitty chocolate. It's just it's like.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's just enough chocolate. It's just enough chocolate to go well with the peanut butter, which is the main event.
It is calibrated to work with the peanut butter.
There's a synergistic thing happening.
The chocolate is pretty much the Oreo cookie part. That's just there, like a vessel to bring you the delicious creamy center.
Rich creamy butter.
Beard 81 Dad. See, I love that Cece's just like, fuck you guys, I'm done. Beard 81 Dad. Now that Joe is on Cameo, when does this OnlyFans account go live? One, I don't 100% understand what that is.
It's like you can let's put it this way, Joe. You could you have much like Patreon, you would have fans that support you, and in exchange, you would send them potentially saucy photos of yourself.
Or something? Like, all right.
Pictures of your boobs.
Yeah.
or
I don't know.
whatever.
I feel
But
Side
it's
feel it.
basically like pay for cam stuff.
Got it. I mean, I've been running a lot. I'm trying to get rid of the boobs. Here we are.
Well, why not make
yeah,
some money?
I feel like that's our Patreon, right? Like, who? All right, let's move on. Burnington Ben, when are you? Or sorry, what are your feelings on cheese-infused hot dogs? Every time I see them in the grocery store, I'm equally curious and repulsed. They can't actually be good, right?
I mean, when I was
Thanks.
a kid, my mom would
I'm a
just do
fan.
that. My mom would just
Yeah,
slice
we
them
ate
open,
a
put some
ton
American
of those
cheese in
growing
there.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty
Yeah.
dope.
No, thank
Yeah.
you.
I mean, I'm not sure that I'm trusting whatever kind of fucking cheese they're injecting into there. You just do it yourself.
Yeah.
Remember the ones that came with chili in them?
Yeah.
No.
No, I do not remember that.
I have an odd story. Have you ever eaten one of those cold, Casey? I don't recommend it
No. I
because,
don't
like,
recommend.
What?
so when I was a kid, and what I know this is disgusting, I ate one cold, and the chili inside like crackled, like it like
Oh.
snap, crackle, pop, like Pop Rocks. Like it was something was going on there.
I'm a fan of
Gross.
cold hot dogs, but never tried the chili dog one.
Yeah, no, they're.
I mean,
don't.
generally though, cheese inside of shit is good. Stuffed
Yeah.
crust pizza,
You know
fucking
what's-
good.
I remember, I want to say it was like 4 or 5 years ago.
CC.
Leslie and I got the cheese stuffed Oscar Mayer ones just as like a nostalgia thing. They do not hold up. I would not recommend them.
Cece, you're not into the stuffed crust pizza, huh?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I love it.
Mm.
No.
All right, where were we?
Oh, God, I miss
Our
pizza.
buddy Adam Space Lawyer, that's attorney at Space, I think. I don't know, it gets cut off. Have you ever done improv, and do you have any horror stories from it? No,
No.
I don't think any of us
I'm
have,
not
right?
a big.
I mean,
no,
I've
I'm not
done improv and I hated it.
big into
Yeah.
it as a thing,
Yeah,
like watching it.
And
And,
I, no offense, Adam, but like it's just fucking nails on the chalkboard.
Well, I actually enjoy I'll go to an improv show every
I-
once in a while, but
Obviously, you will, John, but for like the rest of us, no, it's not a
totally
thing.
fair. No,
Like-
I had to do I did like some acting stuff in college. Like I was in like theater classes, like where you're like reading
Jesus
plays and
Christ.
shit, and they would make you do improv as like it's part of like acting training. You
I
know?
can literally see your hymen growing back as you're telling the story.
No, it's unpleasant,
Yeah, not great.
which I think is the
Um,
point. I don't know, but yeah.
Come to Chicago and like literally in the airport, you can meet like 9 people that are in some sort of improv troupe. So, all right, we got 2 from our friend Skizbot. What do you think that thing that Meatloaf won't do for love is?
Eat butt.
Butt stuff. Yeah, I was gonna say butt stuff.
Did you literally say eat butt? Because I was about to say like ass, eat ass.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Which
you're in
honestly,
love.
I never could understand.
shower
Fine,
regularly.
But
I'm
that
sorry,
video
what?
was like so. I mean, it's amazing, but also, what the fuck? Like, what was it about? I don't know.
Open up. If CC and I are right, I'm just gonna say Meatloaf. Open up for your mind.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's the whole reason I think it's that is because the video does absolutely everything to not reference that. So it's like if he was gonna reference anything else, like you could be subliminal about it and
Yeah.
I'm sure this has been brought up at some point, but like that woman from the video, at least in my memory, was very attractive, and
Oh,
Meatloaf,
Very
not
much
so much an attractive
you know,
gentleman.
he's fine.
Meatloaf
He's
looks
like,
like
he's like a
Casey.
normal guy. He's like a normal guy. So,
Yeah.
No,
Even by normal guy
I-
standards,
he's
John.
probably lower than normal.
Yeah, I mean, I consider myself a normal guy, John. Like
John,
let's-
John, that's
let's-
referred to as below average, I think.
He's below average.
Lower
You're
than
right.
normal.
Lower
It's
than
the
normal.
ruffled shirts that pulled it in for him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, another one from Skizbot. Who are some of your favorite character actors? I love seeing Clancy Brown pop up in stuff. I don't know who that is. I'm terrible. With
Oh, I
names.
love so
Oh, that dude-
Clancy Brown
Krabs.
is he's
What?
is he
Mr.
isn't he
Krabs.
in Shawshank? Isn't he like the bad warden
He's
in
in Pet
Shawshank?
Cemetery too.
He's in Pet
Yeah.
Cemetery too. Like you would
He was the
know,
Kurgan
you would
Highlander.
recognize this guy in a fucking second if you saw. He's a really awesome
Oh.
actor.
Yeah, I just looked at him.
What was the
Yeah,
question? I
he's-
didn't even catch the question.
Who are your favorite character actors? Is J.K.
Oh.
Simmons? Is he considered a character actor?
Yes, I will. I would
Yeah.
put him in character.
yeah,
Yeah.
then J.K.
I
Simmons
love
for
him.
sure.
It's funny because we just watched Whiplash for the first time like a week ago, and like it's one of those movies where like everyone loved, and you see it like 4 years after like the hype, and like It is legit one of the most amazing movies I've ever seen.
So
Like,
I've never seen it, and it's been on my list. Where
watch
is
it.
All right,
I'm telling you, John, amazing, and you would
because
love
I
it.
love J.K.
Like,
Simmons.
You know,
I'm
I'm gonna go with David Morse. Kind of a throwback.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I've talked about it before, but and I think you all probably have made fun of me about this, but like Brian Cox was like my all-time. He's like in my like top 5 of all-time actors, and now he's like, you know, a big name because of Succession. And I'm kind of like, I've been here for you, Brian Cox. All right, don't forget me.
Brian Cox is.
Brian Cox is Monkey Jail.
I was just watching. I just watched Super Troopers recently for like the first time. in
David,
years.
my God.
David Morse is actually really solid.
so good.
Yeah, David
I
Morse
love
is
that
good.
movie.
I'll throw out an old school choice. How about Cloris Leachman?
See, she's not a character actor though. She's like a star.
She's not a character actor.
She does character stuff.
No, but the definition of a character actor though is like you cannot know that dude's name. Like even J.K.
Yeah,
Simmons
okay.
is just a
Yeah,
he-
Simmons, I think since Whiplash,
He is a
kinda
character
tough to
actor.
call.
He is a character actor, but I think he's like one of the exceptions that proves the rule. Like 9 people out of 10 could not pull David Morse's name out of their ass, but you show them a picture and they're like, "Oh, it's that guy." He was
that's
in.
fair. I forgot who it was, but as soon as I looked,
Exactly.
I was like,
He was in The Rock. He stands out in The Rock in like an amazing ensemble cast.
Yeah.
You know what else he's in,
You know what
John?
movie-
George Washington.
A little
was
film.
Sam
A little film called The Langoliers.
Oh God.
He pilots the
Whoa.
plane.
Adams.
You know what blew my mind? You know what role J.K. Simmons plays? The yellow M&M.
Yep.
What?
Wait, like in the commercials?
Yeah.
In the commercial.
Oh, he does totally.
That's him.
Actually, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no
We
idea.
are farmers. Dun, 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 dun.
He's just great. He comes on screen and I feel nice. All right, we got a lot here. Here we go.
Just start editing randomly. Just pick your.
No,
favorite.
this is a good one from our buddy Cheese Whiz. Hey, Ask BGH, what's your voting plan? What are you taking with you?
Oh, I did an absentee vote.
So
Did
we
you?
have early voting. It starts the week before, and I'm going
Yeah.
like day 2, and I'm just gonna go vote whatever.
Yeah, same here. I mean,
Let's be clear. Like, I'm like a white man. I don't think anyone's gonna like say shit to me at the polls. Like, but
yeah, but I think the
You've
concern is
gotta-
like the lines and like
You've got a look about you, John. They might think you're on their team, so they'll probably leave you alone.
yeah.
yeah, it's all part of my plan, Eric.
Yeah.
Oh,
Trying to
God.
not have my vote suppressed.
I
Yeah.
can't
when
see. I
scroll
can't.
into the-
Casey and I can't do that with the beards. They're gonna know.
Yeah, but with my size and the beard, when I stroll into a polling place at 7 a.m. with my sleepy, grumpy face, people tend to avoid me.
Yeah, no one's
Yeah.
fucking. No one's fucking.
I mean, you guys definitely could pass for Proud Boys. Like, I don't mean that. As
Nah,
like,
I'm not that well groomed.
yeah.
Uh,
I don't know.
yeah.
And I'm
I
in
mean, I
shape.
don't know if he's asking, but like, I'm not voting for fucking Trump. Like, let's be clear.
I like how Joe's calling us Proud Boys, and he's the one with the real clean high and tight over there.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
am-
All right.
I am what I am.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I will say, speaking of the virtual 5K or 10K, and this is my bipartisan statement, 100% of Trump supporters in my neighborhood have shitty lawns. Like, so with the signs, every time I see a Trump supporter sign, shitty lawn, like fucking patchy grass and like dying. You got a Biden sign, beautiful lawn, a lot of nice like fall decorations and things like that. So I don't know.
And just to be clear, that's how Joe evaluates your humanity.
Well, I would say, like, because it's interesting, like, and not to get super political, but like, if you're a Trump supporter, obviously you ignore the fact that like you're a racist. But like, I feel like you're in the burbs. The lawn is like the one thing you still care about, and like, if you want your lawn to fucking die, you vote for Trump. If you don't want your lawn to die, you don't.
We are getting really close to this election, and Joe is just like.
I think
"Fuck
we
it,
should
we
probably
are-
move on.
We're going full political.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
All for it.
All right. Next up from fuckface COW Flanagan. Hey yo, now we can go see Frodo and Samwise scissoring. I don't know what that means.
Scissoring? Do you need to explain to you what scissoring
No,
is?
I know what it is. I don't know what Samwise is.
That's from Lord of the Rings.
Yes, from Lord of the
Scissoring.
Rings.
I mean, I'm just
So
gonna
I-
say it. Like scissoring the wiener sounds painful.
Who is fucking Samwise though?
It's
Is that a
Sam. He's the
Samwise
friend.
Gamgee.
Yeah, Samwise Gamgee.
Joe, I haven't
I
even
don't know.
seen these movies, and I know the answer to that.
I saw the first one. I fell asleep during the second one, and after that, I was done.
He's rude.
Cece, the last time I fucking brought up Lord of the Rings with you, like I got like physically hurt for months. So
Well, I'm trying to tell you who you can think of him from. It's Sean. What's his last name?
Sean Astin.
Sean Astin Green,
Rudy.
Just
the Goonies kid.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he linked an article saying the Lord of the Rings TV series could feature sex and nudity.
Oh yes.
So he says, yeah, hey, yo, now we can see Frodo and Samwise scissoring. That makes me wonder what sex scene is the best in cinema history for you dorks. Mine is that one from Requiem for a Dream.
Oh my
John
god,
knows which
dude.
one.
What
Dude,
the
I
fuck?
say any sex scene from Showgirls.
That is the
Oh
most
my God.
that is the most
That-
COW
The
Flanagan
sheer
answer
effort
ever.
that goes into that, hands down.
God,
I'm
I
like,
need
yes,
to-
girl, you deserve it.
I would have
Yeah.
needed to prep for
That
this. I don't
scene
know.
where like she's dancing for the guy and he puts his hand in her pants and comes up and there's blood. That I think taught me more about sex education than like anything Mr.
But
Masterson.
I'm
did in
talking
school.
about the scene where in the pool she's fucking
Oh.
grinding on
The
him
pool.
and he's bouncing her so intensely that it's like her neck will snap.
Yeah.
And
That's how you
there's
break
so
your
much
dick.
choking, but also she's like under the waterfall. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
if
I
it's
went through
supposed to go
puberty a
down.
second
I
time
don't
during
know.
that scene, Cece.
I don't know, Joe. I don't know. You know what scene I always enjoyed is in Terminator with
Terminator 1?
Linda Hamilton
like-
and
Christ, there.
no, really? Linda Hamilton? Okay, fine. Joe, I like that you're saying that after what you just fucking said,
Wow.
Joe.
I was saying,
That's
of course
just
you
two.
pick, like,
That's just
this-
two people. One of them from the future making love and making a baby, Joe.
Yeah. That's like the missionary position of like movie love scenes.
Okay, says the guy with the fucking freakishly huge porn collection he had to leave in a dumpster.
You know what I
Ah.
like when the consenting adults open mouth kiss and enjoy each other's time.
Okay, Joe.
I think it's really sweet when they go out to dinner. Next up, Fozzie Bear, who I don't think we've gotten one from in a long
I
time.
fucking hate you.
What? What embarrassing event from your youth scared you not quite enough to turn you into a masked psycho killer, but almost?
Oh my
I
god.
guess like any scarring
don't-
childhood events.
I don't understand this question.
Yeah.
I mean,
think
my
it's like-
babysitter told me I was possessed and that I had a demon in me, so that's
Yeah.
you know.
Like anything from like your childhood that scarred you for life and like almost drove you.
So
Like, did-
I remember. I'm trying to. I don't have anything. I wouldn't say this scarred me, but it's relevant maybe to the last conversation as well. I believe I was in second grade, and a friend of mine whose house I was over. It was kind of like his parents running around situation. His fifth grade brother showed us a Playboy, and then also showed us a handgun.
Shit.
And I was like,
Wow, big day, John. Playboy and Russian roulette in the same day. That's wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy's got a fucking fetish if I've ever heard one.
well, it wasn't like at the same. It wasn't, but it was like I remember. I remember.
I mean,
right, we were like in this room, and it was like. You
I've
know,
told this story before that
Yeah.
the first boob I ever saw was the three boobs in Total Recall, which kind of fucked me up for a
Ugh.
little while.
that's in the in my
So
first.
is that why you like more
I
straightforward
course
version?
corrected. Yeah.
The three tips is really like three for a loop.
That's too much.
Oh
It's too much.
God. I
Well,
didn't
that
have
movie was
time
like-
to
yeah,
prepare.
that movie was
Okay,
like
Joe.
92, right? So 90
Yeah.
something like that.
John, if we can track it on this guy, and like if you can prove to me that he can ejaculate without like being choked or like punched, like I will give you $20.
Yeah. I don't even know if he's alive. Like I'll have to check this out.
All right, Chris. What the fuck is going on? Chris Allianz, what's your all-time favorite Halloween costume worn by you, and why?
Oh.
I don't think I have one worn by me, but like, I think when Mia was 2 or 3, she wanted to be a robot princess, and we made that costume, and it was the most amazing thing we've ever done.
Yeah. I went as Michelangelo one year, and like it was totally homemade costume. It was kind of bootleg, but when I look back on it, I look back on it fondly.
My mom always made my costumes, so they were awesome and handmade every year, and she'd make anything I wanted. But probably the one that I was most excited about that she didn't make, I threw an absolute fit to get a X-wing pilot, one of those plastic masks and costume things, and it was shredded by the end of it because I was too big for it, and I was devastated.
I'm pretty pumped about my costume this year. I'll probably wear it on the show. Let's see. We'll do a show on like the 28th. I'm wear it then.
Why not? Got to get some legwork out of it.
That's right.
Yeah, let's do that. All right. I don't know how to pronounce this. Jasly_P. Halloween costumes: scary, funny, sexy, or comfortable? What's your primary criteria?
Interesting. I'm funny usually, but you know.
I was gonna say low effort and funny.
Sure.
That's.
I mean,
guess
yeah,
comfortable
more
too.
funny.
I'm very into functional too. Like I'm not wearing a fucking
Yeah.
mask.
I don't know. I like scary.
I don't like dressing up. I'll be honest. Like ever since I was like, I'm done. Like I don't like dressing up in costumes.
Are you doing
But
it
if
for our
I'm-
thing we're doing, Joe?
No. I'm
Oh,
not.
Joe. Come on, it's quarantine, Joe. We're all having fun.
But you know, if I'm gonna pick, I'm gonna go sexy. Like,
Well, of
you know.
course, I figured.
I like in the this time of year when the porn shops around here have signs for Halloween costumes where they're pretty much just selling their like normal stuff, but like, hey, you can do it as a Halloween costume too. I enjoy that.
We had French maid outfits longer than Spirit of Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. Pilskin_SNK. What is the best campfire story you have told? I've never told a campfire story. I don't know. Anybody?
No, I definitely do not have a best. If I had one, I don't know.
Yeah.
If I had one, that would be the best, but that would be it. All right, last up on Twitter, and then we'll skim through Instagram real quick. Fusitoro, just candy corn question.
Yes.
Haven't we had this conversation
Super good.
before?
Fucking yes.
I
Yeah.
love candy corn.
I love candy corn. Big fan. Cece,
No.
you're shaking your head no.
I guess I'm the lone dissenter, but no, thank you.
By the way, Joe,
Yeah,
I have an actual sex scene answer that maybe you'll accept.
All right.
Wait, you doing research over there?
No, I'm racking my brain. You ever seen Atomic Blonde?
Atomic
Yeah,
Blonde.
Eric, that movie's
yeah,
from like
sure.
3 years ago.
So
Yeah.
I can't. That first
No,
question was not about your childhood, John. The first question was a general question.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess.
all right.
If, like you have a favorite. I mean, that's great that like you've discovered your new favorite. I would say the one that like brought me into puberty was probably Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh,
When they, you know,
which
the
does not
moon
age well,
scene,
but yes.
Which actually, now that you look back on it, it's super
Yeah.
creepy because like
it's a rape scene.
Yeah.
it's pretty much but you know, when I was a kid,
It was the
There's
80s.
no pretty
man.
much. It's totally.
Yeah.
yeah. All right, let's hop over to the Instagram. We're on Instagram at BG Horror, Bloody Good Horror, one of the two. I don't know. Every week on Tuesday, I just post up like, hey, send in some questions. We'll make stupid comments. So these are a handful of picks that we had. Who's your favorite member of the Backstreet Boys? And I'll give you guys money if anyone can name a member of the Backstreet Boys. Right
Oh,
now.
I can name all of them, bro.
Was
Kevin.
Lance Bass? in
Brian,
that?
no.
It might
that
be
was-
mine might be Brian. I guess
Lance, I thought was in sync, wasn't
Lance
he?
is insane.
Wasn't
Come
it there
on,
the Wahlberg that wasn't
Schnars.
Marky Mark?
No,
No,
he
no,
was in
that's a new kid on the
He
Kids.
was in New Kids.
Oh.
Casey, that's like a different generation of boy bands. Okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Come on. I think I could
here's
name
a good
all of
one.
them.
And I've got a few in me, so things might get bad. What's your favorite Van Halen song / album? I assume based on the fact that Eddie Van Halen left this domain a couple days ago.
I mean, Eruption.
Mm.
Yeah. I love Hot for Teacher.
Hot for Teacher is good too.
I don't really like Van Halen.
Thank you,
You
Eric.
don't like
Thank you.
sex scenes and you don't like Van Halen.
I like
but you
Jump.
like Candy Corn.
I'm into Jump.
I mean,
That's about it.
anything with Gary Sharon, right? Like the album they did with
No.
Gary Sharon obviously tops.
I like
anything
honestly, I like
any
that
of-
Crystal Pepsi song too. If I'm being real, the
Yeah.
what-
Right now,
yes.
when I started at the Hannaford in Glenville, I started on day one, and they made us listen to that song. But when they said
pumps
right
you up.
before they said right now, they screamed customer service, and then everyone working there had to scream right now.
my god.
What the
Yeah.
fuck? That's awesome.
I don't. It's
By the
like-
way, Crystal Pepsi, fucking delicious.
Yeah. I mean, it tastes like Pepsi just with no coloring in it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, like I've seen a lot of like tributes and whatever to
I'm
Eddie
just
Van
not
Halen,
into it.
and I get it.
It's boring.
Amazing guitar player, but like, does anyone remember that he was a fucking dick? Like,
Yeah,
you
he was a
ever
He's
seen
shithead.
a
an
total
interview?
asshole.
He was a fuckface. Like, come on.
Yeah, he was a pretty terrible husband too.
Yeah.
He's a piece of trash. But I mean, whatever. Good for him.
For him, he's dead.
All right. Next up, from my good buddy Jeff from back in Jersey. Is it wrong to eat anything else for dinner besides tacos on Taco Tuesday?
No.
No, still.
Yeah.
I
Good dinner.
mean, this is not the life I'm living, man. I'm not like making meals every night.
I realized.
We
I
do have
replied to-
tacos is in like regular rotation, but we're not doing it on like Tuesdays.
Yeah,
Oh,
we don't care what day it
stick
is.
to Tuesday. Like we're very adamant. Like Tuesday's taco night in the Charney's house.
Oh. I mean, I have tacos or the similar like multiple times a week.
It's really interesting. Like growing up, we did tacos like every once in a while too, but like my mom would make like a full-on like meat sauce, like not just seasoned meat. Like it was a whole thing with like it was like dripping. You know what I mean? And we never had any spice in my house, so it was almost like a sweet kind of like it was like a little. I don't
Yeah.
know. It was real weird.
I mean,
Like a
Eric,
sloppy
we grew
Joe
up
in
in
a taco
upstate New
shell.
York, and we were super white. Like
yeah,
I'm-
like
I'm
white,
right
like
there with you.
legit. I don't think I had cayenne pepper until I was like 22 years old.
Yeah. No, I remember when I moved to New York after I graduated college and discovered this thing called falafel, and I was just like, "What the fuck is happening here?" Oh shit! Did we lose Cece again?
Yep.
No.
He's like, "Fuck your falafel."
Yeah. Let's do a few others quickly. I'm a few weeks behind. Any good fall beers I should be drinking? And we kind of talked about this on the pre-show. I feel like there's a lack of like pumpkin beers and fall beers out right now. Although I have been a big fan of the Pumpkin Nitro or Pumpkin from Southern Tier this year.
Yeah.
So Eric, we've been drinking. My mother and father-in-law, my roommates as I call them, they drink a lot of cider.
Okay.
And there's a Boston cider that we get a ton down here. It's like a blue and silver can. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
It's like East something.
Yes. Fuck. I've
In any
I've
event.
had it before. Yeah, it's really good.
They have a pumpkin spiced cider that is delightful. I mean, the pumpkin obviously is my.
It's called Down East.
Down East.
So
yeah,
they have a
exactly.
double that's like 8% alcohol. That is.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
So I'm actually very interested to try that. I'm worried it would cause some problems
It's
for my
great.
mother and
It's
father.
great. It's great.
So,
They do a lot of like random seasonal flavored stuff too. That's interesting. I just haven't
Yeah.
had a lot of it.
I will because I actually know who sent this in. She's a friend of mine. I will suggest Red Top Winery out in Michigan. If you head out there, they have a habanero jalapeno cider, and it is like like hands down one of the best ciders I've ever had. The next day, things might not be going great, but it is so good.
They also, sorry, John, I'm on their website. They have a cider donut one too.
There you go. I'm always
Here's a good one, and this is mostly for me, and I missed it, and I feel bad. If your co-hosts were Disney attractions, which would they be?
Oh Lord.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited about this. So I would say Eric, Hall of Presidents.
Why?
Well, you know,
Also, I don't even know what that is really. So
it's based on your pick of sex scenes, Hall of Presidents.
I don't know, man. Presidents get up to some freaky shit. I'm told.
Yeah. Well, no, Hall of Presidents boring. Nobody goes there. John, I would do Spaceship Earth because it's it's old timey but still very much enjoyable. CC Haunted Mansion, like hands down, very
Aw.
spooky and witchy. Like yeah. And Casey, I would do Carousel of Progress because it's very charming but very old.
I could dig it.
Yeah. If
What would
I-
you be?
Me? Oh, good God. That's a good question. I would think the Tomorrowland Transit Authority. It's literally this ride that you just get on, and it brings you around Tomorrowland, and like it's the most relaxing ride you have there. Which probably doesn't like encompass me very well, but like I just love that ride. No, sorry, I'm gonna step back. The Jungle Cruise ride, because it is like hands down the most sarcastic. Like you get on there and it's just like dad jokes for 25 minutes. So yeah,
Nailed it.
Thank you. All right, let's do a few more and then we'll wrap it up. Rock and Roll Nightmare or Trick or Treat? Which is the better 80s hair metal horror movie?
Oh, Trick or Treat's pretty solid.
I've never seen either.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen either of them.
I've seen both. Rock and Roll Nightmare is very dated. I mean,
Yeah.
they both are, but like Trick or Treat, I mean, the soundtrack, I had it as a kid and I loved it, so we'll always go to bat for that one. Speaking of lovemaking, have you ever seen Puppet Master? That movie is horny AF.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I replied. Do you remember that like leech woman
Yeah.
monster?
So there was a
Like,
question on trivia about this. I've never seen the movie. I've seen pieces of the movie, but I got the question right because I remember the leech lady.
Really? You've never seen it? I feel like that's like
Yeah.
a little piece of history.
I'm not into the
They
full
just
moon,
had a new
full
one
moon
come
stuff
out
so
like
much.
a couple years ago.
Yeah. For the Bravo fans, Tom Sandoval was in one of the more recent ones. Someone sent in, and I couldn't tell if this was a goof or not. Speaking of horny movies, have you seen Return of the Living Dead? Super horny.
I mean,
It is pretty horny. There's the whole like
it's pretty horny.
graveyard scene. I mean, Linnea Quigley is naked that entire movie basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like,
Um,
of course we've seen it. That was our
We did a show,
200th
right?
episode or something.
Yeah, we definitely did it for one of the big ones. All right, we've got a bunch more, but I feel like we're running late, so let's just wrap this up. Top 3 candy bars in order. Go. So I think let's just give our favorite candy bar.
Well-
Myself, Score. I'm a big fan.
Oh
Wow,
fancy.
number one,
Joe, that's so
though?
bougie.
Hands down, number 1.
Wow.
I think I gotta go Snickers. Like it's just.
I'm gonna
a good
go
one.
whatchamacallit 3 times.
Mm.
I mean, I used to love Butterfingers, but yeah, I think Snickers.
I also would accept Payday. That's like
Payday's great.
Payday's
I-
pretty
I'm going
my
with
other-
Eric and going whatchamacallit. That's some good
Nice.
stuff.
Do they still make those?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baby Ruth would be my third. It's like
Really?
that. That's my
Baby Ruth.
Mine would be Score, and then next would be Take 5.
What? Are you
I-
90?
I love Take 5 too.
Take 5 is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get that little bit of salt. That's the one with the
Yeah.
pretzel, right?
And then I would put Kit Kat in number 3.
Did you guys remember Zero bars that were covered in white chocolate, kind of like a Snickers?
Yeah, white chocolate is an abomination. So
It's not great.
that's disgusting.
I'm from Indiana. It's fancy here.
I one
Yeah.
time ate a bunch of white chocolate that had been in my pocket when I was a kid. It was warm and I almost threw up and I never had it again.
Yeah. It's so
That's my-
disgusting.
That's
It's
my
not
white chocolate story.
Yeah, it's pretty much trash. That's what you're eating is trash. Uh,
Just trash.
All right.
Would
you
Yeah,
like
that
trash?
was great. That was
We
very
got-
good.
we got a bunch more. Unless we can call it a day here.
Well,
I think Eric's.
give me
you know,
give me the best of the best here, Joe.
I mean, I just did.
Okay, well, fuck it then.
I guess we can close out on this. Any thoughts on the trailer for The Witches?
No, I just saw
Very
that Anne
excited.
Hathaway was in it and remembered that and got pretty excited.
Yeah.
well, I mean, we were talking about this pre-show, but they put that goddamn trailer out, and then it's coming in 2 weeks. I
Yeah.
don't even know how to handle
Yeah.
it. I can't,
Schnars,
Yeah.
I
Schnars,
Same
can't
with
even
the craft.
emotionally
Schnars is getting
process them.
whiplash over here.
We showed the 9-year-old the original on Friday, and it fucked with her head.
Yeah. So I read the book to my 2 older ones, the 4 and the 6-year-old, maybe like 3 months ago, and I was like, maybe I'll show them the movie, and then I remembered watching the movie, and I was like, there's no fucking way they could.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna try this new one because my assumption is
I
they're gonna.
feel
try
like
and-
it's a
There's
little
no way
more
it's going to be
manageable.
quite as
Yeah.
psychotic. Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, there was definitely some scenes. I mean, the thing that really freaked me out, the 9-year-old, was there's that scene where like the baby is about to go over the fucking cliff, and
Yeah.
like, especially now that my daughter has a 1-year-old sister, she's like, what the fuck? Like, she was legit like, we had issues. So
Yeah. Some phone calls from the school the next day.
yeah,
Just like,
yeah,
what are you
it
doing?
wasn't great. It wasn't great. We did not make great choices. So yeah, I think we're good here.
All right. info@bloodygoodhorror.com. We're also on Twitter and Instagram and Cameo and fucking probably Snapchat, but I don't think Joe checks that anymore. I mean, who uses that?
Have you guys
anymore, right?
signed up for this TikTok thing? It is.
I use it. I use it every day. I don't like have an account, but I flip through it.
Leslie, like I have argued with Leslie about how stupid it is for about 4 months, and then I finally signed up just to show her how stupid it was. And literally, she tells me I've cultivated dad TikTok because it's just like
it learns from what you watch, like the stuff that you sit
Yeah.
and watch. It then starts like if you flip by something, it'll okay, you don't want that. You know what I mean?
no, yeah, it's literally my entire feed is now just like how to clean your house better and like recipes for cooking.
See, mine is all comedy stuff. It's mostly comedy stuff.
No, I got some great tips on how to clean your drapes.
Fascinating. Yeah, I do wonder. I have wondered that before, like how different other people's look. That's interesting. Okay.
We'll never know.
5K is it? When is that again, Joe?
Next
weekend.
Friday, yeah, the 16th, all weekend long. Just go out, run, send in your results, bloodygoodhorror@gmail.com. Post up your pictures or whatever you're doing. Use the hashtag RunBGH and enjoy yourself.
Very nice. Also, there was something else, but I don't remember what it was. So we're just gonna wrap it up. It's Halloween.
We're donating all our proceeds from
Yes.
Cameo this month to League of Women Voters.
Yeah. Cameo.com. Search Bloody Good Horror, and don't forget Patreon.com. Search for us. What are we doing next week, John?
12-hour shift.
Wonderful. What's that about?
I don't know.
Shift
Who
that
could-
goes on for 12 hours.
Who could
Working
say?
at the Quick Mart.
All right. Sounds good.
There's a nurse involved.
Sounds good, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll talk to you next week.
See you.
Bye.
Oh, goodbye now.
Bye-bye.